Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. This is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the day street. Well, the markets have been trading in a range-bound trading session. Although it's all the PSU stocks that are hogging all the limelight today. The Nifty bank is off the day's low for sure, so it's back up about 0.5% higher in trade at 46,114. So the banking stocks are really participating in trade, and within it, the PSU banking space is 3% higher. So this is the space that investors are tapping all the opportunity onto. Oil and gas is the other one. So OMCs, they are the ones that are soaring high in trade, even along with the upstream majors. Auto stocks, the broader markets, these are the other pockets that are doing well at this point in time. A lot of stocks from the auto basket also soaring higher. M&M, we checked in the morning, it's now up 7% on in the F&O space. Bosch is at a fresh all-time high level again. We've been touching upon the stock from last two trading sessions again. The other one is NMDC that we spoke about in the morning too. That's the one that's doing very well in trade as well as far as the F&O space is concerned. And of course, we have HPCL, BPCL. Then you also have stocks like GAIL India that are picking up pace, and even Power Grid, seeing some kind of an uptake. But very, very importantly, it's HDFC Bank. That's now up 2%, 1409, and finally we can see some move coming in on HDFC Bank as well, Shail.
Good afternoon to you, Sakshi, and a very warm welcome to viewers who've joined us on the last 1 hour of trade on this weekly expiry day for Nifty. It's range-bound trade for the two main indices, Sakshi. About 100-120 point range for the Nifty. Day's high is 21,960. The day's low is 21,800. My own gut feeling is that we are now headed for 22,300. Somewhere in the afternoon, early afternoon, we had climbed above 22,000 as far as futures were concerned. But a bit of a profit booking consolidation happening there as far as the Nifty is concerned. The coming week, which would see some more momentum building into the Nifty. Now, what are the reasons behind this? It's fairly simple. You see, it's the auto stocks which are pulling the index higher, and HDFC has got back its mojo. I'm sure this is temporary. Yesterday's FII number of about 3,980 crores had a lot to do with the negativity around HDFC Bank. Be that as it may, so State Bank of India, fresh record high here. This is one of those cornerstone stocks along with Auto, Reliance and IT that's helping the Nifty on its way up. And let's look at some more interesting data as far as the Nifty is concerned, and that will give you a clue as to what next week winners will be. M&M in particular, Sakshi marked the stock really early. You have about 82 lakh shares already being traded on this stock in the morning. Needless to add, it's at a record high, 1775, and 3x the volume so far. BPCL was the top pick for Rajesh Palvia in the morning, 5% higher, almost 125% volume of the 5-day average, 2.29 crores. Record high on Bajaj Auto. Similarly, if you watch the NSE 500, you see a lot of known stocks coming back into the limelight. Sakshi, I'm looking at the first 15 stocks on the top volume buzzers list. Only 3 are in losses, led by sadly Vedanta. 3% lower, about 2,800 crores worth of transaction is done. Then you have the likes of NHPC, BPCL, NMDC, Oil, MRPL, IOC, SGVN. The same high beta, low ticket items showing gains anywhere between 1% and 14% on fairly decent volumes. Sakshi, let's get Swati Hotkar into the conversation.
Absolutely. We have our guest now joining in. Swati Hotkar now joins in. She is the AVP Technical Research at Nirmal Bang. Very good afternoon to you, Swati, and good to have you with us. So some upticks coming in as far as the private banking majors are also concerned, and of course the PSU banks are on a soaring rally. Where exactly is your focus in, and any particular stocks that you can share with all our viewers now?
Yes, definitely. PSU banks are really doing very well, Sakshi. As of now, my eye is onto the Federal Bank and the Bank of India. Federal Bank, you can see on the technical front that it is nearby. It's the cluster resistance levels, which comes to at around 159 to 160 levels. I believe the stock is on the verge of giving the breakout very soon. Once it manages to give the breakout level, 170 to 180 levels, I'm looking forward. So at the current level, the risk reward ratio is very favorable. So those who are looking for any PSU bank, one can go for the Federal Bank. At the current market price, stoppers can be kept at 148 levels for an immediate target of 170.
Okay. Right. Okay. So those are the stocks that Swati has just pointed out. Swati, but on HDFC Bank, what do you see now after 2% of an up move after a long haul that we are seeing here? Do you think this momentum will now have some more legs to carry on?
See, we have seen a sharp sell-off in this particular counter from almost 700 to now it's up to 1400 levels. We have seen as of now this kind of a pull. We are just witnessing a small pullback rally, which might be a short-lived as such. I believe this pullback rally is likely to be extended towards to 1450 to 1500 levels up to that level. But the overall structure of this particular counter is little bit weak on a larger degree, say the monthly or the weekly chart. Downside bottom can be happen at around 1300 to 1250 levels. I'm looking forward in the coming few trading sessions. But this pullback rally will be a short lived, so don't create any long positions. But yes, definitely sell on rise strategy can be applied in this particular stock. Any pullback towards to 1450 to 1500 levels can be utilized to book the profits or to exit the long positions.
Okay. Sakshi, let's just now get seriously into the banking space. You remember our early morning discussion on how SBI was slowly but surely replacing HDFC Bank as the cornerstone for the bank Nifty. Well, today is no different. Again, a record high, about 762 for you. Let's look at how the open interest on SBI is. Okay, it's about 4.2% higher. So this is interesting. In the futures, the lot size is at about 1500 points for this particular stock. Swati, your view on SBI at record high levels. Is this momentum which should be chased or should we pause?
See, the overall structure of the SBI surge is really positive. After a long period of a time of consolidation within the range of 450 to 550 levels, almost a span of a 3 to 4 years, the stock has given the breakout of the SBI. I believe that this overall technical structure is really positive on the monthly indicators. So upside, I'm looking forward that this particular counter will going to touch the feet of a thousands levels also. So those who are looking for a long-term horizon, definitely this particular counter should be just for a buying side only, not for the sell side. I'm looking for a target of 1000 in the coming 3 to 6 months, whereas any dips coming towards to 700 to 650, one can definitely utilize that opportunity for buying purpose.
Okay. Sakshi, let's also hit upon the volume of State Bank of India. At the moment, I see somewhere like 2100 crores worth of transactions happening on SBI. Just a moment, let me confirm that for you. Yes, almost 2200 crores worth of transactions. This is slightly less than the yesterday's average, but we still have about 50 minutes left into trade. What else is sticking in the green that we can bother Swati with? Let's look at actually, Sakshi, the problem is that the first 35 shares on NSE 500 in terms of rising volume, higher price, out of the first 35, about 30 of them are PSU stocks. What can one do? You tell me.
Yes, that's the space to be, of course. Swati, I have got the auto stocks to draw your attention to. M&M, we were pointing out record high levels for this one after 7% of a move. Bajaj Auto, that Shell had pointed out in the morning, again a all-time high for this one. Maruti Suzuki, we touched upon yesterday for the first time when 11,000 was crossed. Again, this is at a record high. Bosch, we've been talking about, this is at a record high. What's really happening here in the auto space, and where exactly would you be keen to put fresh money?
See, autobacks are really doing very well from the last few months, access from the last 6 months. Whatever the stock you have mentioned, whether it's M&M, whether it's Maruti or the Bajaj Auto, those stocks are really doing very well. On the technical front, all those stocks are trading in the pattern of the high tops, high bottom. Also, the interesting fact that it's trading in the rising momentum as such. Whenever the stocks retraces, it takes the supports of the short-term moving averages, then again it's going ahead on the northern side as such. If we look towards the risk reward ratio among these three counters, M&M is really good because this particular stock has not entered into the overbought zone, and it is just on the verge of giving the breakout of the consolidation pattern on the weekly charts. I believe it has a potential to reach up to 2000 mark as well in the very short span, and beyond that level 2200 levels can be seen. So taking into consideration the risk reward ratio, M&M is the best option to take a buy call at the current market price because volume is increasing along with the price momentum. So whenever the price and the volume goes in hand, the overall structure of that particular counter becomes very strong. So I will suggest to go for M&M at this particular price. Upside, I'm looking for a target of 2000 and another 2200 levels can be very soon by maintaining a support of 1620 levels on the downside.
Okay. Sakshi, I'll just add one word on Mahindra with your permission.
Absolutely.
Okay, so just yesterday, I'm just trying to put in perspective as to why this rally came. And yesterday, around at about quarter to 2, the company reported its third quarter numbers, and Sakshi, the net profit was at 2,450 crores for the third quarter gone by versus 1,530 crores in the year ago period. So that's a huge jump in profit. And this is also better than the estimate of 2,350 crores. So not only was profit higher, it is higher than the expectations, and the revenue also surged 25,300 crores for the quarter gone by versus 21,700. So that's essentially the reason behind this spurt. Look at EBITDA margin. The estimate was 12.6%. It's come at 14%.
Wow.
So this is the reason why you have seen this fabulous burst in price, and as Swati points out, this is likely to continue. We may also want to again revisit Federal Bank. This was her top pick, and let's look at the price again. There is a blowout happening. Sakshi.
Absolutely, blowout happening all across this space. I was also looking at the OMC stocks, and I wanted, Swati, your clear view. Which of the three OMC stocks would you be betting big now? All three of them are rallying very sharply, but where is it that you would throw your weight behind?
See, if you're asking me for the OMC stocks only, I will go for the Oil India. This particular counter is really doing very well. And if you look towards the BPCL chart also, this particular stock is also doing very well. On the technical front, oil, I believe key oil as of now on the monthly chart is trading in the very swiftly way after giving the breakout of a flat pattern which comes to at around 250 to 300 levels. That was the major breakout on the monthly chart on this particular counter, and from there onwards it just with giving a upside rally on non-stop basis, taking a very strong supports of the previous swings lows and just going ahead. I believe this stock has a very strong potential to rise up to at least 600 to 700 levels on the higher side. So those who are having any long position, this particular counter looks very strong and they can maintain their long positions. Coming towards the BPCL, this particular stock is also just on the verge of giving the breakout of its new all-time high, which comes to at around 350, 653 levels. It's particularly trading at the current market price. I believe it has a potential up to 800 levels also. I will not suggest to create a fresh long position because the risk reward is not favorable. at the CMP, but definitely any dips towards to 580 to 551 can go for a long. I'm looking for a target of minimum of 800 levels on the higher side on the BPC.
Okay.
Let's look at some other stocks, Sakshi, which are now
Sure,
buzzing
sure.
further. I would imagine we'll have to again pay attention to the move that's happening in the railway space. Yesterday it was IRFC that rose 15-17%. Today I think, well, the percentage is not as much, but it's the other set of railway stocks belonging to the government which are doing pretty well. And leading the rally is IRCON today. So IRCON for you is 3.9% higher, 231.20. Then of course you have RITES going 3% higher, 770. RVNL 3% higher, 256.90. And we discussed IRCTC in the morning. It hit an early morning high of about 968, now at 951, still up 2.5%. Strong move, of course, in IRFC today, 4% higher, 3.9% higher at 160 rupees 30 paisa. So the entire railway pack is also gaining ground, Sakshi.
Absolutely, it's the railway pack, and finally we marked this IRCTC counter that's also moving in tandem with the others and playing catch up in trade early in the morning. Swati, would you have a view on the railway pack stocks, and do you still feel some of them will have some momentum to be chased?
Yes, definitely some momentum is likely to be chased into the specifically IRCTC. This particular stock is really good on the technical front. On a larger degree, the overall technical setup is very strong, and currently it has taken the support of 50 days moving average and just going ahead on a higher degree. I believe this counter is likely to continue this rally towards to at least 1100 to 1200 levels. So my view is definitely positive on IRCTC.
Okay. And let me bring out some more names that are moving up in trade. Let's focus a little bit on the IT pack that we briefly mentioned in the morning. The one stock from this space that's moving up in the F&O space is Emphasis. It's about 5.5 to 6% higher in trade, Swati. Could you look at the stock and tell us right now at 2702, it's at the day's high level, 143 rupees higher in trade. Is Emphasis something that you track?
Yes, definitely. Emphasis is really very strong counter on the technical front. If you look towards the last 1 month data, the stock was got stuck within the range of 2500 to 2650 levels, within 100 to 150 points only it got stuck, and now it has given the consolidation breakout by taking a support of a 50 days moving average. Definitely, this as of now the stock is up by almost 5.5% on intraday basis, but more upside likely to be seen in this particular counter, and which likely to witness the new 52 high, which might come towards just 2800 to 2900 all levels. So those who are having any long positions, they can definitely hold on at the current market price by maintaining a stop loss of 2600 on a downside for immediate target of 2800 to 2900.
2900. Okay. Right, fair enough. That's as far as Emphasis is also concerned. A very, very sharp move on this stock, about 6% higher in trade currently. We'll keep an eye out on this one as well. Okay, from the PSU basket, the one stock that I'm looking at now is Bharat Electronics. Of course, PL is something that has been in focus because of the kind of orders that the stock has been getting. Anything from this basket, HAL, BEL, they're all moving up from the defense space after some gap again. Would you look at these defense players?
See, my view on the BL, specifically stock specific, is little bit cautious because this particular counter is trading in the overbought zone as well. On a monthly chart, we have seen a very spectacular rally once the stock manages to give a breakout of 80 levels with a non-stop to 185, 190 levels. So at the current levels, I believe that we might witness some profit bookings at a higher levels towards to 195 to 200 levels. So I would suggest to book the partial profits at the current level. If you're getting any dips towards to 160 to 140 level, one can add on. But definitely my view is positive on the HL. This particular counter is really doing very well, and it's in the formation of a flag pattern as of now. It's just forming the body of a flag on the daily charts. It's on the verge of giving the breakout. Breakout comes to at level of 3080. Once it manages to give a breakout, one can go for a fresh long positions by maintaining a stop loss of 2900. I'm looking for a target of at least 30 to 3400 levels within a span of a 1 to 2 months.
Okay. Sakshi, another stock that has come back into the limelight, well, I'll just say not exactly limelight, but after much, much pain is Asian Paints. Would you believe it? It was at 3400 rupees in the beginning of January almost. Yes. Then it's fallen to 2900 rupees by 9th of Feb. And it's showing some activity over the last 3-4 sessions. Today it's sort of blossoming. 3024. Swati, this is a very nice swing trade if you would want to mark on Asian Paints.
This Asian Paint is one of my favorite counter. Definitely, as you rightly pointed out, that the stock has witnessed a sharp profit booking or say the sell off from 3400 levels to 29. Now, 2900 is acting as a very strong cluster support levels. Multiple of times, this particular counter has tested 2900 levels and had bounced back towards to 3500 levels. I believe at the current market price, the risk reward ratio is very favorable. One can go for a long positions at the CMP. 2900 will act as a very crucial support level. Upside, I'm looking for a target of 3200 to 3400, very short span of time. So my view is definitely positive in Asian trades.
Let's also look at the FNO picture for this one. Of course, at the moment it's just 1.6% higher. Sakshi, what's really critical is how volume is moving. And as Sakshi pointed out, as Swati pointed out, this is at a long-term cluster support. I see one support coming in October of 2023. Then of course we have seen this price earlier in May of 2023 as well. So as she mentions, it's a fairly strong support. Cash volumes aren't much, but the action is clearly in the futures where traded volumes are 78% more than what they were yesterday. So this is something that people can look for in terms of a swing trade on its way up. And Sakshi, there's no stopping MRPL, now 244.70.
Absolutely, and the entire oil and gas space is buzzing. And how? I mean, like apart from MRPL, you have ONGC, Oil India, even the gas stocks like GAIL, Gujarat Gas. There is a very sharp move coming in across the board. The entire space. We did discuss the oil and gas stocks with Swati a bit. I mean, the oil stocks specifically. But what about the gas stocks? Would you look at GAIL, Gujarat Gas, and does this space interest you at all, Swati?
See, if this particular stock need to be tracked, I will go for the Gujarat Gas because GAIL has already given a rally and from almost 120 to 185 level, it has already the news or the say the rally has already factored in. So no, I will not be into the favor to take a buy call at the current market price. But if we compare to the another stock or take another stock such as the Gujarat Gas, it definitely looks very positive because stock has given a retracement from 622 to 510 levels, taken as support of 50 days moving average, and again it is bouncing back. Yesterday only the stock has managed to take a support and we have seen a reversal from the support levels towards to 580. I believe whenever the stock takes the correction and take the supports and shows the pullback rally, that gives a very confidence on the technical front because every correction can be utilized to take a long positions and the risk reward gets very favorable on every dips or the support levels. I'm looking for a target of at least 650 to 700 levels in Gujarat Gas because on the larger degree, say on the weekly or the monthly chart also in the past, in the last year, in the month of the October to November, the stock has given the formation of a rounding bottom formation and we shown a very kind of a good breakout. So such kind of a formation is really positive on the technical front. One can take a long call at current market price as well by maintaining a support of at least 520, and I'm going for a long term targets will be a 700 to 800 levels on the higher side.
Okay. Sakshi, one stock I'll mark, it's Polycab, and the reason behind it is fairly simple. Till about almost 1.5 months ago, there was this a raid by the income tax department on some wire company, the name of which was not made clear, but people presumed in the market that it's Polycab. Now it fell deeply after that, and it then sort of moved sideways after a decent uptick. So it's reclaimed that price level today, 45.12, and this is something which is coming on fairly decent volumes. I see a price tick of 265 crores compared with the 5-day average of about 198 crores. So this is something that we have to look at, and maybe Swati can also comment on how the counter is moving. It is now above its 200-day DMA. That is my point. Swati.
Yes, Sanjeev, you have rightly pointed out that on the, I guess, 11th of Jan, we have seen a gap down opening from almost 5,000 to 4,400 levels, and the stock has went into the consolidation phase. Now today, it has just entered into that gap, which has been formed on the 11th of the Jan. Now the gap theory shows that whenever the stock entered into the gaps, it's going to fill that particular gap levels, and which comes to at around 4,900 to 5,000 levels. So I would suggest that this particular rally is likely to be continued for a target of 4,900 to 5,000 levels. But there is no strong reversal on the technical front whether the stock will continue this kind of a pullback rally or not. So my view is little bit cautious, but definitely this pullback rally is likely to be continued towards to 49,000 to 500 levels. But major long positions cannot be initiated at the current market price as long as the technical chart doesn't show any kind of a strong reversal. So those who are having any long positions, they can hold on by maintaining a strict stop loss of 4,400 levels. And we are looking for to continue this pullback rally towards to 49 to 5,000.
All right. Okay. So that's the view coming in. Let's now talk about some of the other stocks. Then a lot of other buzzing names, especially in the power space, they are going. At this point in time, they're all rallying in trade, be it NTPC, be it Power Grid, Coal India. Of course, apart from this, we are also looking at the smaller names like, say Torrent Power or a Genus Power. They are also going up very sharply. I think Genus Power is also up on the back of the earnings that have come about. Let me just look for the earnings of Genus Power. The stock hit a 5% upper circuit. And this is despite over the last few trading sessions it was trending lower, but profit after tax settles at 13.5 crores for Q3 of FY24. That's an increase of 16% over last year. So that's the one that's buzzing in trade. Anything in the power space, Swati, that interests you?
Yeah, as of now, I'm not tracking power stocks currently, but definitely, as you pointed out, Torrent Power and the Genius Power, just looking towards the technical chart setups, Genius Power really looks good. Why so? Because on a monthly chart, the stock has given the formation of a flag pattern as well as the breakout of the same levels, and it is well placed above all the important moving averages, say 50 and 100, 200 DMA, and it's showing a turnaround. So I will suggest those who are looking for a power pack, Genus Power looks good, decent at the current market price. Support lies at 240 to 50 levels, and pullback rally can be seen up to the 350 to 360 levels. So view is a little bit positive on this particular counter.
Okay. Well, on that note, thanks a lot, Swati, for being with us on the show and discussing all these stocks with us. We will get you back on Business Today soon. What we'll do, viewers, is we'll take a very short break right here. And when we return, of course, we will be discussing more stock ideas and we will also be joined by another very special guest right after the break. Kranti Batini will be with us from Wealthman Securities. Stay with us.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has to real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
Celebrate 32 years of leadership in business news with Business Today. From the groundbreaking AI cover of Sundar Pichai to PM Modi's exclusive on G20, we redefine headlines. Now our 32nd anniversary issue explores India 2029, the 5-year agenda, with industry titans sharing exclusive insights. So, just BT it for unparalleled perspectives. Business Today, 32 years of leadership, innovation, and business brilliance. Subscribe now. In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today television and this is Market Today. We were in conversation with Swati Hodkar discussing a lot of stocks, but now we also have Kranti Battini now joining us, equity strategist at Wealth Mill Securities. Last half an hour of trade. We are still 72 points higher on the Nifty, 21,911 currently. And it's the PSU banks, oil and gas space that is buzzing in trade right now, and the entire PSU basket that's taking all the limelight. Mr. Battini, welcome to you on Business Today television. Tell us, what is it that is attracting you at this point in time in the markets? Are you again looking at the buzzing space, the hottest space, PSU story, or are you looking anywhere else for more value?
Hi, Sakshi. Good afternoon. Sahil, good afternoon to you all. A couple of days back, I was on your show and we mentioned those who have a brave heart and don't miss a dip in Indian markets, those investors taking a brave heart and bought the stocks at the dip, they would have made good, handsome money in the past couple of days' time. So one thing is clear, Indian market is showing its resilience despite of knee-jerk reactions and negative news do come from all the parts of the world. But one thing is evident for the investors in front of us is markets are showing its strength. One thing is the sentiment is quite positive towards Indian market, and also the liquidity flows has been quite strong towards the Indian markets. So, never miss a dip on Indian markets. That's clearly evident for the investors. Coming to the point, Sakshi, there are opportunities like last time we discussed the stocks like Inox India Limited. In our conversation also, we discussed in the recently listed space, the stock has come up with results, decent set of numbers, and today the stock has been rallying. And any dip in this kind of good engineering and cryogenic tanks, primarily the stock is into engineering and capital goods, we can say. So any kind of dip in these kind of business models is a very good entry opportunities for the investors who are looking for gains in the medium to long term. And stocks like NLC India, Naval Lignite in power space, in the PSU space also has been doing good at this point of time. So any dip in these kind of strong business models, investors can buy. There are whole list of stocks one can keep on their watch list because the buying interest is reviving in these strong business models.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Battini, and a warm welcome on Market Today. Yes,
Thanks.
we remember your advice in great detail, and of course, it's worked out fairly well with those people who sort of stuck their necks out and their wallets to buy this wonderful dip. Now tell us your view on State Bank of India, fresh record high on this one, and where does it go? Is this momentum to be changed? Since you speak to a lot of people in the market, is there a view that SBI now is replacing HDFC Bank in terms of at least the sentiment on the long side within the Bank Nifty?
Very strong statement coming from Shell. State Bank of India replacing HDFC Bank in terms of the market sentiment and momentum is concerned. Uh, Shell, you are absolutely right. Okay, the investor mood and sentiment is swinging uh, towards the State Bank of India because of the medium-term overhangs with respect to HDFC Bank is concerned. But investors who are looking for a long-term return still, despite of the underperformance in the HDFC Bank, still it's a good entry opportunity for the investors who are looking for longer returns in longer term basis. Definitely, HDFC Bank price changes the perception of the investors. Said once the price changes, once the momentum gathers in HDFC Bank, definitely the buying interest will come back again. This is clearly evident in stocks like Life Insurance Corporation. A couple of months back or a quarter back, people were nowhere interested to get into Life Insurance Corporation, but the stock has delivered more than 30% in the past in the last quarter. So any dip, these stocks like HDFC, they offers a good amount of margin of safety for the investors. Coming to the point, is State Bank of India is a good buy at this point of time? Definitely, it's a good buy because these business models, these stocks offers a strong margin of safety for the investors who are looking for uh, medium to long term. In short term, the other banks might overtake and perform in a momentum nature. But coming to the strong investments are concerned as a for the portfolio of the investors, definitely HDFC Bank and State Bank of India are the good buys at this point of time, despite of the negativity around HDFC Bank. For a portfolio construction point of view, it gives a good entry opportunity for the investor. Of course, no matter, we need to accept the fact in terms of the price is concerned, it is underperforming. Okay, but in terms of the portfolio construction view is concerned, HDFC Bank offers a good entry opportunities still at this price.
Okay. Sakshi, it's almost 3:08 p.m. We have 22 minutes left for the trade to pause for Thursday. Let's just take a wider view of the market. The mood is absolutely fine on Dalal Street. Look at the advanced decline ratio on the National Stock Exchange, 2:1. 1,500 stocks in the green and 700 in the red. Now let's look at how individual indices are performing. I'd just like to again mark the NSE Mid Cap 100 and the NSE Small Cap 100 indices respectively. Both of them are up 1% each. And what's really exciting is that the advanced decline ratio in the morning that we had marked has mellowed down a bit, but in both these indices, which are comprising of 100 shares each, in the small cap index the advanced decline is 3:1. 75 shares are in the green. In the mid cap 100 index, 70 out of 100 shares are in the green, and this points to the widening of the rally, the strength that is coming into the rally. And if you look at Sakshi, the NSE 500, it's almost up about 0.5%. The advanced decline ratio is better still, 340 stocks in the green and just 150 in the red. So these are the kind of granularities and details one needs to see whether how the markets are likely to move in the coming days. On the Nifty itself, if you see 28 out of 50 stocks are in the green, and that's a big plus. The PSU banking index, of course, is the top gainer here, record high 7162, 3.5% higher. Sakshi.
Absolutely, Shell. We were discussing this whole host of space, the PSU banking, the private banking, HDFC versus SBI. But, this rally has stunned everyone. And it's but natural, Mr. Batini, for anyone who's not had a chance to participate in the PSU banking rally to feel left out, the fear of missing out as well. Would you still say, we are looking at a whole host of these stocks even rallying today, be it Canara Bank, be it Bank of Maharashtra, UCO Bank, Union Bank, Indian Bank. I mean, a whole host of these stocks are all up, PNB, they're all up by 4.5%. would your order of preference be if somebody has to ask you in terms of 2 or 3 stocks that you can select from the PSU basket even now in the banking space?
It's actually a very difficult question to answer straight away for your question, but I try to answer in such a way. One thing is, one need to check their risk appetite. Okay, if my risk appetite is high, then whatever be the order I am telling you, they can reverse probably. But in terms of the margin of safety and the fundamentals of the stocks and the valuation metrics of these stocks are concerned, one can look into the larger banks like State Bank of India and Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda. These stocks offers in a good growth and margin of safety. Uh, so, uh, uh, one thing investors need to keep in mind, whether it is a portfolio point of view or just to just to sail through the momentum, the current rally, and the want to play a momentum rally, one can get into the other names also. So, when the problem here is, it should not be a case when you take a trading position, it should not become an investment position. When an investment position should not become a trading position. That's what the greater confusion for the investors at this point of time. The point for the investors is treat a trading position as a trading position, investment position as a investment position. If the investor mix both the things, that's where the problem comes. Play momentum separately, treat investment separately. Whatever be the stocks I shared with you, these are all in a investment perspective for a pure portfolio construction perspective.
Okay.
On a lighter note, Shail, UCO Bank at 15 rupees looks very attractive. If I come on to your show and
Yes.
say, buy UCO Bank at 15 rupees, you don't allow me to come on to the show again. so, but the price mismatch is
No,
different.
no.
So, and that's what the price
You
changes
know,
the perception of the people.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you completely that especially in markets and as prices move from 2 digits to 3 and specifically from 3 digits to 4, the perception in the mind of viewers and buyers changes dramatically. What you look at UCO Bank now at 61 rupees, PNB was same at about 30, 35, 40, 45 rupees. Nobody used to talk about it. They were always worried that when would the next scam within PNB surface. But now at 126, 127, you know, it's become mainstream. So Kranti, we would not have sort of stopped you from naming a 15 rupee stock. You are more than welcome even today on February 15th to suggest some names. What we will do is we will add a disclaimer to it, but we will not stop you.
Yeah, it do happen because the markets are quite dynamic at this point of time. We should not carry away with the price, and retail investors tend to have a uh, nature. The price make them to drop to the price of these stocks, and again, when the stampede happens, these are the first people to get crushed. So that should not be the case for the investors. Always need to maintain the quality. Price should not be the criteria. Of course, price is paramount, but what price is the crux in investing?
Okay. Well, fair enough. Let me discuss with you Bosch again. You know, it's changed the digit in the F&O space for sure. 28,200 now. 9% higher in the F&O space for Bosch, all-time high levels. We've been pointing this stock out to all our viewers for last 2 or 3 trading sessions. It's a very high ticket stock at this point in time, but we were discussing how very interestingly India is the only place that it is listed, and of course the earning support is coming in for Bosch. Would you still look at for all those who would have the capacity into Bosch at this level as well? A very niche audience over there, but would you advise Bosch at these levels?
Sakshi, one thing is quite evident in the market. Okay, normally people have a hesitation to buy the stocks which are in 4 digits, uh, uh, 5 digits normally. But uh, but investors who have that brave heart and invested these stocks at the lower end of the prices, definitely the stocks have rewarded. The main reason is they come up with a very strong business models. As the price also looks stretched and looks rich, as it also reflects in their business models also quite rich and strong business models. So for a long term investor, uh, if he is not carried away with this 5 figure stock, definitely at dips one can add these stocks in their portfolio. The stock was trending for around 15-20,000 range for quite a long time, when there was a overhang about the diesel engines and diesel engines are concerned. When the underperformance was there in autos, the stock was underperforming. That was the time to accumulate these stocks on a longer term basis. Uh, right now, at this valuation, are you ready to buy? Definitely, I'm ready to buy this stock at dips. Accumulate these stocks on a longer term basis, not for a medium to short term. Uh, these are very strong business models. One can accumulate these stocks in their portfolio.
Okay. So that's as far as the view on Bosch is concerned. Let's get back to the markets to help you understand which way are the markets looking at. 21,913 on the Nifty. We're also looking at the mid and the small cap space, which is looking much brighter at this point. 1.5% almost higher for the small caps and 1% higher for the mid cap space as well. So it's the broader markets that are doing better than the benchmark index for sure. It's the Nifty Bank which is trading about 0.6% higher in trade. Although sectorally, when we talk, barring the healthcare and the FMCG and also the media space, rest of the sectors are all up into the green. Of course, we've discussed PSU, banks, ad nauseum, oil and gas, auto space as well. These are the pockets that have been looking very, very positive. From the broader markets, I can see some moves coming in on the logistics shares. Krantik, would you look at, say, stocks like AG's Logistics? I pointed this out in the morning, also 9% higher. Even all cargo logistics has pulled up in trade. I can look at even delivery that's doing well. Is this a cycle that's moving in, or is it just stock specific? How would you really explain the move in the logistics space right now?
Sakshi, as far Aegis Logistics is concerned, by and large, the business model is into, by and large, they are into uh, storing the natural gas. Okay, they have the LNG plants across major ports in India. Uh, as the LNG import has been going up, the company is going to take the benefit. The stock witnessed a sharp rally in the past 1 year. Any dip in the stock, definitely it's a warranted buy for the investors. This stock, even though the name comes with logistics, it is by and large more about the logistics space in the prices of LNG imports are concerned. The stock plays. Coming to the delivery and all cargo, uh, uh, the stocks have rallied. Even delivery after the disappointment listing, we do see some kind of spikes in the stock whenever there is a momentum buy that come. But delivery, I'm not in a hurry to buy this stock at this point of time. Still, I want to have some kind of more strong earning momentum for delivery. Then we can see that stock into the core portfolio. At this point of time, it is just a pure momentum play at this point of time. Just since Sakshi, you mentioned about Bosch, I was just checking the valuations of Bosch and NHBC. Both the companies' market capitalization is 93,000 crores, and and both carries in 24p. They trades at this point of time. These are the trading P's. So uh, the price, as well as people tend to see the price but not the value. Uh,
Yeah, well, people see price but not the value. That's the takeaway for today from Kranti's side. I'm sure these are wonderful thoughts, and people need to keep a notebook to keep noting them down. Sakshi, it's now 3:21. Let's take a detour to the markets, the last 9 minutes of trade. Now let's look at the pluses, which is the second day of running on the Nifty. We are closing in the green. It's the weekly expiry today, all the more better. What's better still? That 21,900 is with us, and this opens the way to 22,300 on the Nifty in the coming week, or say by end of February. Of course, citrus paribus, things that can go wrong will. So we need to keep that in mind. What's fueling this rally? Again, autos, again SBI. Of course, we have a very, very strong traction coming into the entire OMC pack, actually the energy pack, which is ONGC and BPL, as also the power pack, power grid and NTPC. So these are the stocks that are sort of helping the index on its way up. SBI and Reliance, of course, have been the cornerstone of this uptick. Now let's look at a smaller group, which is the index heavyweight group of 10 stocks that I keep talking about without fail. TCS is added to this, and let's see how things move from now on. At 322, it's the power pack which is now dominating the market in terms of strong gains. We look at NTPC, it's changed a digit, 240 today, and that's a fairly decent move that's come in. NTPC for you at 340 rupees is trading 3.6% higher, and about 2 crore shares have changed hands. This is something to look at. ONGC 3% higher, 276 rupees, 3.21 crore shares have changed hands. Let's look at the most active counters within the NSE 500. If there is any change, no. Vedant 4% lower, 267, almost 2,900 crores worth of transactions done. HDFC yesterday traded somewhere like 5,000 crores. Today, thankfully, the counter is in the green. Is it a dead cat bounce? Only time will tell. But the volume is at 2,800 crores. NHPC 4% higher, 2,500 crores. SBI 2.5% higher, 2,500 crores. M&M, this is a very, very strong entrant at a record high post earnings, 1,700 crores worth of transactions done. And Sakshi, I'd like to point out another counter, Oil India. We generally don't talk about it. It's the ONGC that takes away all the attention. Today, Oil India is up 12.8%, 562, and 1,500 crores worth of transactions done. MRPL up 20%, 244, and 15 crores worth of transactions done. What are you watching?
A lot of other stocks as well, of Inox Industries, for example, Inox India, that's the one that's moved up very, very sharply, 11.5% higher in trade. The other one that I looked at was Gujarat Pipavav, that has hit an upper circuit as well in trade today at 190 odd levels can be seen on this one. These were the two stocks that were at sharply higher in trade. Of course, apart from this, I'm also looking at of course, Coal India you already marked, NTPC already marked. These are the two stocks that I've spotted which must be mentioned. Titan is moving higher. That's the day's high at this point in time. So that's the one that's moving up smartly at 36.25 for this one as well. These are the 2-3 stocks that I've looked at. Anything else, Mr. Batini, that you'd like to highlight for all our viewers? 5 minutes to go for the markets to shut shop. But where exactly should one be looking at? Any particular stocks for the medium to long term now?
Actually, as the emphasis is given towards the capex, we have not witnessed any kind of strong moves in the metal stocks. They are in the lull zone. Actually, most of the metal stocks have been. So right now, one can consider investing in metal stocks, the steel stocks are concerned on a medium to short term perspective, because as the infrastructure funding is going up, as the capex cycle is reviving in India, so one can look at the stocks in ferros and the metal base metal stocks are concerned. They're going to valuations looks attractive at this point of time. There are opportunities in the mid cap stocks also. One can look at these stocks. these stocks at this point of time, they offer good amount of margin of safety. The one when we talk about the margin of safety, when there are deep narrow cuts in the market, investors, they need not have to worry about jumping for the stop losses are concerned. So these stocks, whenever the stocks comes up with margin of safety, means they can sit back and relax when there is a correction in the strong correction in the market. Also, nothing to worry. Okay, these stocks are expected to rebound fast in a shorter term basis.
Okay, let me quickly mark out our guests' picks as well from morning. Rajesh Palvia had mentioned Canara Bank and BPCL. Both of them have soared pretty high in trade. We've also seen Federal Bank, that was also discussed by Swati as her top pick, and therefore this stock is also moving up in trade. So all our guest picks are also soaring higher in trade as of now. Just about 3 minutes to shut shop. Let's start winding up the markets for all of our viewers. Markets have Nifty definitely has 21,928 by its side now. It's at the day's high, 88 points higher in trade. Strong move coming in towards the end of the session. Of course, it's the PSU banks that are soaring higher, 3.1% higher. That's the space that's buzzing. Oil and gas, 2.4% higher. Very strong moves coming in on the upstream giants as well as on the OMC companies. Autos, of course, some of them are doing very well. M&M, Bajaj Auto and the like. Broader markets doing well. The realty space is picking up pace as well. Barring the healthcare and the FMCG pack, rest of the sectors have all pulled up into the green. Of course, the top movers on the Nifty include names like M&M, BPCL, NTPC, Power Grid, ONGC, SBI, Coal India and HDFC Bank. These are the 5-6 movers on the Nifty. On the downside, Axis Bank. Remember, there is some kind of report coming in and that's with respect to Subramaniam Swamy probably moving Delhi High Court, alleging that Axis Bank made undue gains of 5,100 crores in the Axis Bank Max Life deal. So that has led to the stock to the day's low and 2% down, and that's why it is the top loser today. Apollo Hospitals, ITC, HUL, Nestle. So the FMCG counters have dragged in trade, or there are out of the 5 movers on the downside, it's at least 4 of them which are from the FMCG pack. So Britannia, HUL, ITC, and Nestle, they're all down in trade as well. So that's the FMCG pack for you. FNO space clearly led by Bosch, M&M, Indus Towers now picking up 6.5% higher. Polycab, HPCL, Emphasis, NMDC, Federal Bank. These are the stocks that have moved anywhere between 5 to 9% in trade in the FNO action. Shell, anything else that you looked at towards the end?
Yes, Sakshi, I think some stocks merit mention even if prices aren't the criteria, and I'd like to mention a little known company called Force Motors. This has been of course a very old blue chip, but this blue chip was present only on the Bombay Stock Exchange. They've got listed on the National Stock Exchange as well, and the price is at a record high, up about 11% at 4968. This price was last witnessed somewhere in how should I say, March of 2017, and then it fell rapidly. So Force Motors is something that I'd like to mention, and 3 stocks. These are all our picks on the show. Federal Bank closing at day's high 157. We'll take also a look at Canara Bank. That's also doing wonderfully well. Canara Bank at the moment, when you look at the space, is 3.2% higher, 587. And of course, the last one is BPCL. These were the stocks that we had discussed ever since morning. 4.1% higher, Sakshi, fresh record high, 651, accompanied by almost an 8% rise in open interest. Sakshi.
Absolutely, and you know, there's action continuing on the primary market space as well. Today was the last day to subscribe Vibhor Steel Tubes IPO, and that's got subscribed over 187 times, the most subscribed IPO of 2024 so far. We will look at the listing to take place in the coming days, but this this IPO had really a strong response coming in from all across the board, investors as well. So keep an eye out on this IPO. The retail investors portion was booked 143 times, and the non-institutional investors category was subscribed nearly 500 times. That's the kind of subscription that we have seen here. It's just a 72 crore rupees IPO with a price ticket that's just 141 to 151, and that's the one that's also being looked at positively. All right, with that, many thanks, Kranti, for being with us on this special edition, and many thanks, Shell, also for being with us. With that, we will wrap up this very special trade. Do stay tuned with us on Business Today as action continues on the other side. Many thanks.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
Celebrate 32 years of leadership in business news with Business Today. From the groundbreaking AI cover of Sundar Pichai to PM Modi's exclusive on G20, we redefine headlines. Now our 32nd anniversary issue explores India 2029, the 5-year agenda, with industry titans sharing exclusive insights. So, just BT it for unparalleled perspectives. Business Today. 32 years of leadership, innovation, and business brilliance. Subscribe now. In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Sonia Gandhi is moving to the upper house of